Your partner just shut down mid-conversation, walked away, and now you're left wondering if they even care about your relationship. Here's what they're not telling you about why avoidant partners stonewall. If you've ever felt like you're talking to a brick wall when trying to connect with your partner, you're not alone. When someone with an avoidant attachment style starts stonewalling, it feels like they've completely checked out of the relationship. But what if I told you that their silence isn't actually about not caring? If this situation already sounds painfully familiar, hit that like button so I know I'm speaking to the right people. Today we're diving deep into why avoidant partners stonewall, what's really happening in their brain during these moments, and the exact strategies that actually work. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to break through that wall and create the connection you've been craving. Plus, I'll share the one phrase that can instantly shift the dynamic. Let's start with what's really happening inside your avoidant partner's mind when they shut down. Research suggests that people with avoidant attachment styles may be more likely to use stonewalling to manage conflict. Here's something crucial to understand. It's not that they don't have feelings. Many experts believe they actually feel emotions just as intensely as everyone else. The difference is in how their nervous system learned to cope with emotions during childhood. When expressing emotions was met with dismissal, criticism, or abandonment, their brain developed a survival strategy. Shut down before you get hurt. Stonewalling often happens when someone feels emotionally overwhelmed or flooded. Think of it like a computer that shuts down when it overheats. Your partner may not be trying to hurt you. Their system is protecting itself from what it perceives as emotional danger. Dr. John Gottman identified stonewalling as one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, behaviors that can be particularly destructive to relationships. When someone stonewalls, instead of hearing, "I need some time to think," their partner often hears, "I don't care about this," or "you." This creates a vicious cycle. The more you chase for connection, the more overwhelmed they feel, and the more they withdraw. But there's actually a way to break this cycle that goes against every instinct you have. Quick question. Are you more the anxious type who chases connection, or the avoidant type who needs space? Comment A for anxious, or V for avoidant. For many avoidant partners, stonewalling gets activated by emotional intensity. Their system interprets high emotion as a threat. Feeling cornered, when they can't escape or are pushed for vulnerability. Criticism or blame. Even mild criticism can trigger shame and shut down. Demands for immediate emotional expression. Phrases like, "We need to talk right now." The challenge isn't your desire to connect. It's that traditional communication approaches often backfire with avoidant partners. Here's where most relationships start falling apart. You notice they're pulling away, so you try harder to connect. You ask more questions, initiate more conversations, maybe get emotional about feeling shut out. But every attempt makes them withdraw more. Most advice about "just communicate more" might actually make things worse with avoidant partners. You can't force them to open up. Instead, you have to create conditions where they feel safe enough to choose vulnerability. Real strategies that work. Strategy number 1. The strategic pause. When your avoidant partner starts to shut down, your instinct is to push harder, but this floods their system even more. Instead, you pause, not because you're giving up, but because you're giving them space to regulate. You might say, "I can see this feels overwhelming right now. I'm going to give you some space, and we can talk about this when you're ready." This removes immediate pressure and demonstrates you won't abandon them for needing space. Remember, avoidant partners are terrified of being left, even though their behavior pushes people away. Strategy number 2. The emotional safety net. You have to actively create emotional safety before expecting emotional availability. Avoidant partners need to know that sharing feelings won't result in criticism or overwhelm. Acknowledge their perspective without trying to change it. If they say they don't like talking about feelings, say, "I understand that talking about emotions doesn't feel natural to you, and that's okay." This validation creates space for them to potentially share more. Strategy number 3. The indirect approach. Direct questions about feelings trigger defenses. Instead of asking, "How do you feel about us?" try the indirect approach. Share your own experience first. "I've been feeling really grateful for our relationship lately, especially how safe you make me feel." Then pause. Don't ask them to reciprocate. When avoidant partners feel less pressure to respond, they're more likely to share something genuine. Strategy number 4. Focus on actions, not words. Avoidant partners often show love through actions rather than words. Instead of only looking for verbal expressions, notice and acknowledge how they show up. "I noticed you always make sure my car has gas when I borrow it. That makes me feel really cared for." This has to be genuine appreciation. They'll sense any agenda and shut down even more. Here's the phrase that can completely shift the dynamic when your avoidant partner is stonewalling. "You don't have to say anything right now. I just want you to know that I'm here, and nothing you're feeling or not feeling changes how I feel about you." This works because it removes all pressure and expectation. It demonstrates unconditional acceptance, which is what their wounded attachment system desperately needs to feel safe. A friend tried this with her partner during one of his shutdown moments. He didn't respond immediately, but about an hour later, he sat next to her and said, "I was feeling overwhelmed because I thought you were going to break up with me." It was the first time he'd voluntarily shared a feeling in months. If that breakthrough moment just gave you hope, smash that like button. These moments of connection are exactly what we're working toward. Building long-term communication. Create rituals of safety. Regular low-pressure opportunities for connection that don't require heavy emotional processing. This might be a daily 5-minute check-in where you each share one thing that went well. Over time, these small moments build trust and make bigger conversations possible. Model the emotional expression you want to see by sharing your own feelings simply. "I felt proud of myself today when I finished that project." You're demonstrating that emotions can be shared safely without drama. Remember that avoidant partners express love through solving practical problems, remembering details, being reliable, giving you space, and supporting your independence. When you recognize these expressions, you create positive reinforcement that encourages more connection. Breaking through an avoidant partner's stonewalling isn't about forcing communication. It's about creating safety for authentic connection to emerge naturally. The key strategies are using the strategic pause, creating emotional safety through validation, taking the indirect approach, focusing on their actions as love expressions, and using the breakthrough phrase to remove expectations. Remember, change takes time. Your avoidant partner learned these patterns over many years. Be patient with both them and yourself. The goal isn't to change who they are. It's to create a relationship where they feel safe enough to share more when they're ready. When you stop chasing and start creating safety, the connection you've been longing for starts to emerge naturally. If this video gave you a new perspective on your relationship, send it to someone who's